This is the fundamental human performance curve for all sports, and I work a lot with Olympic level athletes. But it's also true for all of us who want to be well from a mental perspective as well. So this applies to absolutely everyone. It's one of the few universal human truths that we have that we love to share with you. And so let me just walk you through this curve and how this works. So on the y-axis, you have performance. So you have low performance on the bottom, high performance on the top. Now I will just stop there, and I don't want you to think of performance as we need you to do more, to be more productive, although of course that's nice when we do more if it takes less energy or if it's easier for us to do that. When Dr. Robin and I talk, we talk about healthy high performance. We want you to have wellness. We want you to feel great energy. We want you to have stress that fuels you and is a challenge, not as something that makes you tense, anxious, nervous, or exhausted. So we believe in healthy high performance. You can be healthy and perform well at the same time. In fact, they're actually linked together, and when you're healthy, that enables performance. When you do something that's great, that you love, it actually makes you healthier, and it puts you on this beautiful upward spiral of wellness. So consider that y-axis as the healthy high performance y-axis. On the x-axis, starting on, make sure I've got my sides right, the left-hand side, that's when we're tired. That's when we're not motivated. That's when we're exhausted. And as a result, your performance is not what you're capable of. Let's just put it that way. We've all been there. Anyone felt that before? Yes, maybe a few people nodding your heads. 2 people were honest and put up their hands. I understand it's everyone, it's cool. On the far right-hand side, you have burnout. That's anxious, tense, and you're just simply done, as Dr. Robin pointed out. In the middle, there's this beautiful zone where you're energized but relaxed. That is the high performance zone. And I worked with a number of Olympic athletes, and there was this one moment I remember of Adam Van Kruveren, who's an MP in Ottawa now. He's a kayaker, and we were getting ready, I should say he was getting ready for the London Olympics, and we're down in Florida training, and he was racing in practice against Anders Gustafsson from Sweden, who's the number 2 person in the world. Adam was number 1, and they were flying up and down the river together, racing as much as they possibly could. And I gave them the set. It was 16 times 4 minutes, all out on 2 minutes rest. So sprinting for 4 minutes, easy for 2 minutes, 16 times. 2 hours of pain and suffering, courtesy of Greg. Lovely for me, because I get to do my blood work and all those sorts of things. Not so good with them. Adam dropped multiple F-bombs, so apparently he's gonna live forever. And it cost me $20 to get Anders to come train with Adam that morning so I could have the number 1 and number 2 people. I didn't tell Adam, but anyway, so I bought $20 for 2 hours of entertainment. It was amazing. And I was also snapping some photos. And they were pushing the limits. They were close to world record in practice. They were going as fast as they possibly could. And this is the same level of athlete going the same speed at the exact same time of day under the exact same training conditions. And the photos, when they came through, and I looked at the 2 of them together, they were 2 completely different people. Adam was so relaxed that his tongue was hanging out the side of his mouth, drooling, like it was kind of like, dude, come on, like, and his hand on the paddle was like this. He was barely gripping it with 3 fingers. He was so calm as he was flying up and down the river. Anders, you could see the jaw muscle because his teeth were clenched. He was going so hard trying to keep up to Adam. And his hand on the paddle was like this. I'm sure we can all identify with going through our lives like that. This state is critically important for us to understand. Basically, Adam was in the zone in the middle and Anders was off on the right, doing the exact same thing in 2 completely different ways. The reason why this is so fundamentally important for all of us here today is because you can go hard like Anders, or we can go fast like Adam. Going fast like Adam is higher performing, much less tension, costs less energy. It's actually fun. Going hard leads to exhaustion, burnout, fatigue, and those sorts of things. So I want you to be able to shift into that zone because it enables performance. It enables health as well. 12 weeks later at the Olympics, Adam came second, won a silver medal. Amazing. The state predicts performance. Anders was 7th and off the podium. Adam came second to some hotshot little German kid who never won anything ever again. But anyway, whatever, moving on. So we want to take some time to help you understand how to make that fundamental shift from this tension zone back down into the zone, the middle zone, where you're able to access that energy and that beautiful flow state. So the first thing that we would love to share with you is this idea of your breath. And the birthday candle is something bouncing around. The birthday candle breath, which Dr. Robin talks about, and I actually did my PhD on breath work 20 years ago when no one cared about breathing. Now apparently it's relevant, so I've clearly missed the boat on that timing of my PhD. But anyway, and what happens when we use our breathing is that it links up the stress center of the brain with your breathing center. And when we do a long, slow exhale, the medulla, the breathing center of the brain, calms down. There's less electrical activity. And because it's linked to your stress center also calms down. So if you all just want to join us for this little moment, we'll take a breath in. And I want you to blow out so slow. Let's try it one more time. 4 seconds in. Let's go 8 seconds out. And one last time. Nice deep breath in. And 8 seconds out. That simple practice of 3 deep breaths where the exhale is so much slower than the inhale helps to regulate our physiology, regulate our psychology, and put us back into an emotional state of calm, even though the world around us is a storm. I work in the cancer ward at Sick Kids. There are some days where I've had to sit in meetings where we're discussing things around the table about when things are not going well. And that's the only way that I can get through some of those meetings. I also, in case you haven't noticed yet, am a little bit high-strung. That will become apparent as we go through today's session. And my challenge when I'm with my children, especially when I'm with Adam, who is 9, is to stay calm because he's really, really sensitive. He feels things very, very deeply. He matches my emotions. I'm sure you can all relate to the fact that your energy often influences the energy of the room full of children as well. When you are in a good place, the people around you are in a good place, and that's certainly true with Adam. When I am regulated, when I am calm, when I am breathing through some of the moments, and Adam senses my calm, he's then able to go off and do what he wants to do, which is often hitting stuff with stuff, but whatever, or Nerf guns or whatever, but he enables to calm himself down. So I would encourage you to think about that little micro practice as one very powerful way for you to take yourself from this stress, tense, nervous, anxious zone back into your flow state so that you can be of best service to those around you. Just imagine if you're in a good place and someone comes to talk to you and they're struggling, whether it's one of your staff, whether it's one of your teammates, whether it's a child in your care, and you're calm, you're in a good place, that interaction has a chance of going well. But if you're tense, nervous, stressed, anxious, and they come and see you and they're stressed, tense, nervous, anxious, that does not go very well at all. So when we put ourselves in a place of calm, cool, collected, in the zone energy, which usually means dissipating tension, it puts everyone else around us in a great place as well. And it only takes a few breaths to put yourself back in that place. If you need it to work a little bit longer, there's something called combat breathing, and I work with police, firefighters, nurses, and in this case, we teach 4 seconds in, hold for 4 seconds, out for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. And those practices of box breathing enable you to sustain being oxygenated, blowing off your carbon dioxide, which is actually what triggers panic attacks if you get into the brain and think about that, so it's a stress inducer. So you're oxygenating, blowing off your CO2, and centering. And this is something that you can do for extended periods of time, whether it's you're stuck in traffic, which happens quite often in Toronto, or maybe there's a meeting that you're in, or you're simply practicing listening. Remember, Dr. Robin said, do you need support or do you need solutions? And when we're in that support mode and you're trying not to give those solutions, it often helps just to put yourself back into a place where you can be calm, cool, and collected. And then the last little piece of this puzzle that I'll share with you, which I want to just highlight because it's so critically important and you're all so awesome, is that sometimes the reality is that you're on the left-hand side of this curve. You're tired. You're really tired. And that's how so many people are feeling right now. And we need a little bit more energy. And there's a couple things here that I think will make a big difference for you. When we are tired, when we are exhausted, when we are on that left-hand side of the curve, it's a moment when we probably want sugar because that gives us energy. And what your body really needs is anything that helps to eliminate inflammation. And so in that case, we're strongly encouraging people who are tired or on the other side of the curve, stressed, nervous, tense, anxious, everyone, all of us need to double down on a simple idea, which is eating the rainbow and not deriving our energy necessarily from sugar. I'm not saying eliminate it from your life. I'm just saying think about adding, not necessarily removing. Think about adding the rainbow, yellow, green, orange, purple, white veggies and fruit, because those are what give you the polyphenols, flavonoids, vitamins, and minerals that your body uses to create energy. And the beautiful thing about that is that if we look at traditional cultures from around the world, regardless of whether it's from China, Japan, Southeast Asia, Africa, the Caribbean, South America, the vast majority of cultures from around the world have an extraordinarily healthy style of eating, foods that are incredible for you. The problematic foods tend to be the standard North American diet, or what we call the SAD diet. And I was saying mad because I heard that term earlier as we were talking about coming up on stage, the SAD diet, which is simply highly processed fast food. So if it comes out of a box or if you buy it through your window at the drive-thru, it's probably not going to necessarily serve you in these times. So those are just a whole bunch of ideas that we thought we would just share with you, as well as the context of what we're trying to achieve. We want to try to help you get back into a flow state, into your zone, which is relaxed, energetic performance that also fuels your health. Some of us are on the right-hand side of this curve with tension. In those cases, we can practice some breath work to bring us back into the zone. Some of us are on the other side of the curve. We're just tired. We need something to boost us a little bit. In that case, it's remember the mission, remember the purpose, and through the example of eat the rainbow, take care of yourself so that you can best serve others as well.